Hello students. Today we will be discussing the famous Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, a principle given by the same gentleman who's in front of your screens right now. Werner Heisenberg, a German physicist in 1927 stated this uncertainty principle, which is the consequence of what you've studied in your previous class, that is the dual behavior of matter and radiation. Let us see what the principle states. The principle states that it is impossible to determine simultaneously the exact position and exact momentum or velocity of an electron. आप एक ही समय पे इलेक्ट्रॉन की पोजीशन और उसकी मोमेंटम सर्टेनिटी या एक्यूरेसी से डिटरमाइन नहीं कर सकते. I'll once again repeat, the principle states that it is not possible to determine simultaneously the exact position and exact momentum of an electron. Why is it so? The answer to this will be given to you in today's class. But let us see how do we state the principle mathematically. Mathematically, it is expressed as delta x times delta p is greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. Delta x here is the uncertainty in position and delta p here is the uncertainty in momentum. अगर हम इलेक्ट्रॉन की पोजीशन और मोमेंटम साइमल्टेनियसली मेजर करने की कोशिश करें तो जो अनसर्टेनिटी इस वैल्यू में निकलेगी उसका जो वैल्यू रहेगा दैट वुड ऑलवेज बी ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू h अपॉन 4 पाई. बट वी नो दैट मोमेंटम p इज इक्वल टू m टाइम्स v. तो अगर हम इस इक्वेशन में p की जगह mv सब्सटीट्यूट कर दें, we can write the equation as delta x times delta mv is greater than h by 4 pi. But since mass m of an electron or any other body for that matter is constant, we can take m on the other side of the equation and we can express this as delta x times delta v is greater than or equal to h upon 4 pi m, where I'll again repeat delta x क्या है, it is the uncertainty in the position and delta v क्या है, so it is the uncertainty in velocity. अगर आपने पोजीशन और वेलोसिटी साइमल्टेनियसली मेजर करने की कोशिश की तो जो अनसर्टेनिटी की वैल्यू निकलेगी दैट विल ऑलवेज बी ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू h अपॉन 4 पाई m. Let us try to understand the mathematical implications of the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. It is quite interesting. Now suppose let us say that the position of electron is known with a high degree of accuracy. If you are accurately knowing the position of electron, means the uncertainty in the position becomes very small. Therefore in this equation, the value of delta x becomes small. If the value of delta x becomes small, then delta v would certainly take a large value. In other words, you will become highly uncertain about the velocity of an electron. On the other hand, if the velocity of an electron is known precisely, तो अगर अब आप velocity precisely जानते हैं, it would mean that delta v would now take a small value in this equation. And if in this equation delta v takes a small value, delta x will have to take a large value, means you will now become highly uncertain about the position of an electron. Thus, if we carry out any physical measurement on electron, wherein we are trying to measure electron's position and velocity simultaneously, the outcome or the results which we are going to get are going to be blurry. I know you all want to know why is it so. So let me give you the answer. In order to understand why this happens, we'll need to take an example. चलिए मैं आपको कहता हूँ that you are supposed to measure the thickness of a sheet of a paper with a meter scale. एक मीटर स्केल से आप मुझे पेपर की थिकनेस मेजर करके बता सकते हैं क्या? द आंसर ऑब्वियसली इज गोइंग टू बी मीनिंगलेस एंड हाईली इनएक्यूरेट. क्यों? बिकॉज यू विल ऑब्वियसली नीड एन इंस्ट्रूमेंट विच इज ग्रेजुएटेड इन यूनिट्स दैट आर स्मॉलर देन द थिकनेस ऑफ द शीट. एक पेपर की थिकनेस मेजर करने के लिए जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट मुझे चाहिए उसकी ग्रेजुएशंस उस पेपर शीट की थिकनेस से छोटी होनी चाहिए. Let us try to extend the same analogy in trying to determine the position of an electron. Obviously, we must use a device that is calibrated in units which are smaller than the dimensions of an electron. But how do you observe anything? The laws of optics state that you observe things when they reflect the light back into your eyes. In a similar way, to observe an electron, we will have to illuminate it with a light so that it can reflect the same light back to us. But the light used must be having a wavelength smaller than the dimensions of an electron. बट इलेक्ट्रॉन तो एक पॉइंट चार्ज है, मतलब आई विल हैव टू यूज अ फोटॉन or light of an extremely short wavelength. Then, according to de Broglie's wave particle duality, a photon of a very short wavelength would have a very high momentum. The high momentum of such a photon, when will go and strike an electron, it would change the energy of electron due to this collision. As a result होगा क्या कि जब वो लाइट रिफ्लेक्ट होकर के आप तक आएगी, you will be able to calculate the position of the electron, but we would know very little now about the velocity of electron that would have certainly changed after such a collision with a photon of a very high momentum. So someone would argue that why don't we then use a photon of a longer wavelength? But using a photon of a longer wavelength would be same as I telling you to measure the thickness of a paper sheet using a meter scale. So see, when we try to measure one thing with certain accuracy, the other becomes highly uncertain. And that is what the principle states. Mathematically, it can be expressed that when you will try to measure both of them, that is position as well as velocity accurately, you will be uncertain about any one of them. But the product of the two uncertainties, that is the uncertainty in position times the uncertainty in velocity, will always be greater than or equal to h upon 4 pi m, and that is what is your Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. I know what you want to know now. You want to know what is the significance of this uncertainty principle. See, one of the most important implications of this uncertainty principle is that it rules out what earlier models of atoms have stated. In the earlier models, like in the Bohr model, they have stated about the existence of fixed paths of electrons. But tell me, how can you know about fixed path of any body? The trajectory or the fixed path of any object can only be determined by knowing its position and velocity at various moments. If we know where a body is at a particular instant, and if we also know what is its velocity at that particular instant, and also the forces that are acting on it at that particular time, only then we can tell where the body would be some time later. But can we talk about the position and the velocity of the electron at the same time? The answer is no. Because if we try to measure the position of electron accurately, we become uncertain about its velocity. And when we try to measure the velocity accurately, we become uncertain about its position. Since for any such subatomic particle like an electron, it is not possible simultaneously to determine the position and velocity at any given time, we can therefore also not talk about the trajectory or the fixed path of an electron. This was one of the major drawbacks of the Bohr's model, where he stated that the electrons move around the nucleus in circular paths of fixed radius. But you can talk about fixed paths of electron only when you are very certain about both its position and velocity, which according to the uncertainty principle is not possible. So the effect of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle is quite significant, but only for the motion of microscopic objects like electrons and other subatomic particles. On the other hand, it is negligible for that of macroscopic objects. Let us try to find it out. Let us say we have a golf ball of mass 40 grams and it is moving at a speed of 45 meters per second. Suppose if the speed can be measured with an accuracy of 2%, then what would be the uncertainty in its position? Since I know that the speed can be measured with an accuracy of 2%, therefore the uncertainty of the speed would be 2%. Now since the speed is 45, 2% of 45 is 0.9, means the uncertainty in the speed of the ball is 0.9 meters per second. Using the Heisenberg's equation, that is delta x times delta v should be greater than or equal to h upon 4 pi m, I know the uncertainty in velocity is 0.9. So I will now express the equation in terms of uncertainty in position, that is delta x. I would therefore get delta x to be equal to h upon 4 pi m times delta v. Substituting the values of h as 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 divided by 4 times pi, that is 3.14, times the mass of the ball, which is 40 grams, therefore written as 40 into 10 to the power minus 3 kg, times the uncertainty in velocity, that is 0.9, I'll be able to calculate the uncertainty in its position, and that comes out to be 1.46 into 10 to the power minus 33 meters. Just to give you an idea, the size of the nucleus of an atom is 10 to the power minus 15 meters. Therefore, the uncertainty in the position of the ball that I get here is even smaller than the nucleus of an atom, approximately in this case 10 to the power 18 times smaller than that of diameter of a typical atomic nucleus, which makes no significance. Therefore, just like de Broglie's principle is significant for microscopic objects, in a similar way, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle also holds significance, but only for microscopic objects. It is negligible for that of macroscopic objects. Finally, let us come to the conclusion. So my conclusion from today's class would be that in case of microscopic objects like electron, the uncertainty in position and velocity is going to get large values. Why is it going to get large values? The reason for this is the extremely small mass of these particles, like that of an electron. See, when such a small mass is placed in this equation, so if I'm placing a very small mass here in the denominator in this equation, obviously the product of uncertainty becomes very large. Therefore, uncertainty principle is highly significant for microscopic objects like electrons. It therefore means that the precise statements that were made in earlier models about the position, about the momentum of electrons, that electrons having fixed paths, will now have to be replaced by statements that only talk about the probability of electrons. Since I can't be certain at any instant where the electron is, I will have to talk about the probability of electron being at a point at a particular time. This is what happens in what we call as quantum mechanical model of an atom or wave mechanical model of an atom, and that is going to be our discussion for the next class. I will all see you very soon with a new video. Goodbye till then.